Welcome into our next win total breakdown video. Yes, we are talking about Coach Prime and the Colorado Buffaloes. It's an interesting team, right? Obviously, they have one of the best quarterbacks in college football in Sanders here, and Travis Hunter. But this team still scares me in a lot of places, especially at the line, which you could argue the line is some of the most important aspects of football. And I think their depth lacks really bad, which is not going to help them down the season. I think that's really struggled last year down the season because they had some injuries and just the guys behind them weren't as good as the starters. I think we have the same here. I think, yes, the offensive line's a little better than last year, but you have a quarterback that holds on the ball for a long time. And I don't know if this offensive line is good enough at the moment to protect Sanders here in the pocket. Now, I think the schedule is a little easier than last year. I think it's a little easier games. I like their home games. Win total is only 5.5. It could be. I think it's gonna be really bad if we see the wheels fall off again. They could start out 4-0. It's not out of the realm of possibility, and start off hot like they did last year. And if they have a downswing at the end of the year like they did last year, I think we gotta ask some serious questions about what's going on over there in Colorado. Is Coach Prime really the best fit for Colorado? What I don't understand about Colorado, the whole thing they're doing here is we're getting rid of everyone and we're bringing in a whole new roster, which didn't work for them last year. I think it proved it didn't work for them last year. And now they're trying to do it again. I just don't think you could just bank on that being successful when you don't have any proven formula, no proven blueprint of doing this at a very, very successful level, a successful level to the limit of what you want to be, right? Or top 1% level. Here's the thing. I think if Coach Prime didn't have to do much coaching, in-game coaching, when he was with Jackson State, right? Is that who he was with? Whoever he was with. He didn't have to do much in-game coaching. I think if his in-game coaching gets a little better, this team, I think, gets a little bit better and maybe gets over the hump. Like, I could see very wide of outcomes here for the Colorado Buffaloes. That's why I think this video is going to be very interesting. How's it going to work? We're going to go through the wins, we're going to go through the losses, we're going to talk about the games that are kind of coin flippy. That's going to give us the most likely number, in my opinion. Now we're going to talk over-under and whether or not I am betting it. This team starts off week 1 against North Dakota State at home. Not the easiest FCS game, but I ultimately think that is a win. They start 1-0. Week 2, they're at Nebraska. I think a lot of people are just going to chalk this one up as a win. Nebraska is a lot better than they were last year. They're better on the defensive side of the ball. They have the #1 freshman quarterback in the country in Dylan Raiola behind center now. If you remember that game last year, they had Casey Thompson as quarterback. Casey Thompson, you could argue, was the worst Power 4 quarterback in the country. They have much improved quarterback play now. I'm already hearing the comparisons, Dylan Raiola to Patrick Mahomes. They got Matt Rhule as the head coach, who has proven to be very, very successful at the college football level after his first season. He did it with Temple. He did it with Baylor. He's looking now to do it with Nebraska. This is a team that I think people are going to kind of sleep on here. Colorado almost barely, it was a closer game in Nebraska, and now it's in Nebraska, and Nebraska is much better on both sides of the ball. I think it could be a tricky one. I'm taking Nebraska to beat Colorado in week 2. They're 1-1. Week 3, they're on the road against Colorado State. Colorado State almost beat this team last year, and that was on the road. This is now home. This game has been circled on Colorado State's schedule for a year now, and this is like they're going to be the Super Bowl. They're going to go in and try to win this game as hard as they can, and they have a lot. Colorado State has a lot of returning production. These are guys that were there for the game last year and know how much badly they wanted to win this game, know about the culture. Colorado State would come in and play their A game, and if Colorado's not going to play their A game this game, this could be a loss. I am taking it as a win, though. I have 2-1 for the Colorado Buffs. Week 4, home for Baylor, I also have as a win. I think Baylor's going to be struggling. That's a game you have to win for Colorado. I got them at 3-1 here. Week 5, they're on the road against Central Florida. This is a tough road trip to go cross country here versus a team that can run all over you. And they have a good running quarterback in KJ Jefferson. I think this is where we're going to start to see defensive line struggle for the Colorado Buffaloes. Now, I could be wrong. If Colorado Buffaloes offensive line and defensive line are just dominant the first 4 games here, This team could win and ultimately win 10 games this year, but it's going to be something where I have to wait to see it. But I'm taking that as a loss because it's cross country. I have 3-2 going into the bye week. Week 7, they're home for Kansas State. I have it as a loss. I would love it if they win this game because I have Utah to win the Big 12 and Oklahoma State to win the Big 12. I would love to have Kansas State slip up somewhere because ultimately I think they have a pretty easy schedule. I would love Colorado to win this game, but I am taking it a loss here. I have them 3-3 going into Week 8 at Arizona. I think this game right here at Arizona might decide this win total. I've gone back and forth on this. I lean Arizona. I think Arizona, I like the offense over there. Yes, they had a whole new coaching staff come in. I just think this is a game you have to win. You beat them last year. This is another Pac-12 game. I think Arizona just wins at home. I think they're just going to show them. And I think we start to see a little death problems as we go on through the season. Week 9, home for Cincinnati. That's a game they have to win. They better win that game. So that's a win on their schedule. I got them at 4-4 here, going into the Week 10 bye. Week 11, on the road against Texas Tech. I have Texas Tech as a big question mark team. And a lot of these games are coin flippy where I just tend to find myself favoring the home team. I think this conference has the most coin flippy games in any conference. That's how good the middle. I think the middle is so evenly distributed. But I ultimately have this as a loss. Week 12 on the road against Utah. I think Utah's the best team in the division. I can't give them that one, unfortunately. I'm 4-6 here. Week 13 on the road against Kansas, I have as a win. I think they probably split the Texas Tech-Kansas game. So I'm taking that as a win here. Week 14, home for Oklahoma State. I think by that time, Oklahoma State's going to be very have their ducks in a line, as you say. Gundy's very good at that. They're going to run all. They could probably run all over Colorado. I think Bowman's going to take a step forward because it's proven. Older guys, second-year guys after transfer have proven so far to take steps forward, which is why I'm going to take Oklahoma State. So I am under, but very, very slightly. Like I could see this team winning upwards of 8 games, right? But I could see it coming down to 4 games. Like I literally said, I've been going back and forth on the Colorado-Arizona game. That's what this comes down to, right? So if the number's 5.5, my number's 5.4. Like that's what my sim would be spitting out, right? Like that's how close to the under I am. I'm not betting it, obviously, but it's going to be a thing right now where I just need to see it to believe it for Colorado. And I haven't seen it. I didn't really see it last year. I'm not physically in love with the roster or anything. Taking the under, I don't love it. Honestly, I hope they go over for the sake of the sport, for the sake of the Colorado, right? I think it helps the sport so much. It brings so much eyeballs to the sport. And I think it shows people that college football is better than the NFL, which I wholeheartedly agree with. I'm taking the under, though, just slightly. I just need to see it to believe it. Under for the Colorado Buffs, under 5.5. No value, though, in my opinion. Not betting it. If you want to see more Big 12 win total videos, go on my playlist and my channel. You can hit subscribe to while you're at it. I'll appreciate that so much. Go to the playlist. You can watch all the Big 12 win totals. There's also another one that has all the win total videos. I'm Josh Wissey. Thank you.